Curtin Springs Wildlife Habitat. Little challenge today with a knee brace. Knee problem. I'm not sure I'll be able to walk the whole thing, but I'm going to give it my best shot. This is actually the second time. The first time the video was of me. The camera was reversed and I didn't notice somehow. But anyway, life is that way sometimes. So I had nobody on the trail last time, but when I came out, there was a guy coming in, mean looking guy with a mean looking dog, but he was nice enough not to let the dog out of the car until I got in my car. And then there was a couple coming out of the other end of the Curtin Springs Wildlife Habitat, and right behind me today is a young couple with a big dog. Big dogs are real popular these days. So tried to get a little picture of a red robin, I guess, red-breasted robin. I guess it's a medium-sized, small to medium-sized bird. It was in a tree in front of my house. The only wildlife I saw today. Even though we're in a wildlife habitat. So I'm gonna take a little different route than I did earlier today, and go by the pear tree and maybe the apple orchard and see if we get some birds there. They prefer the shade on a hot day like today. I guess they go in the sun when they need to warm up. Let's see. We're out in full sun. It's pretty warm. The young couple took their dog off the leash and are playing throw the stick with the dog. So it's not a dog park, but people think it is. Some people say that the large dogs have driven the coyotes away. They used to be very visible, not afraid of people on the golf course across the street, but they disappeared a couple years ago when this opened up and the big dogs started coming. Coyotes are kind of a lean, medium-sized dog. I buried one time that was dead on the roadkill. Reminded me of my German Shepherd mix mutt that I had when I was a kid. My best friend until my ambitious dad panicked, sold our house because I brought a black kid home from school who forgot his lunch and was crying. And I'm sure the realtors didn't hurt telling him that they were moving in. There was a housing project, low-income housing project, on the other side of the street. We're in Vailsburg, New Jersey, and so he panicked, sold it right away, and couldn't find another house to buy, so he put us in an apartment for a year so we could get a year in school, at one school. But it sort of disrupted my sister and I's education and stability. We ended up in Bloomfield, which was actually a much better school district than the one before and the one after in West Orange. So, unfortunately, they never asked me about the school, but they probably could tell about all the homework I was getting from that school. I learned more in that 1 year than probably 2 years in any other grade. My cousin, his mom stayed put in an apartment, wasn't interested in getting ahead in the American dream of having your own house in the suburbs. But he went to a pretty good school district in East Orange, New Jersey. Had, I think, 1 or 2 years of calculus. I didn't get any in high school, unfortunately. And because I loved math. Oh, there's that bird. Hey, we got some wildlife. Thank you, bird. Coming up, being in the video. He had an interesting, he went to Purdue in petroleum engineering, dropped out for some reason, went to American University in Washington, D.C. to study political science, I think, and then ended up in the Peace Corps to avoid the draft, and smart move. Spoke a little French and went to French Guiana, I guess, and got to work at a girls' school, I guess, with a bunch of pedophile French instructors, and wrote a book about it. Forget what the name of it was. I did buy Black Tropics, I guess, and surprised the book didn't do better. It seemed to be an anthem or encouraged smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, and having sex with underage girls. He later went to work for U.S. Aid in the Mideast, and I suspected he was a spy, but I guess somebody today said that U.S. Aid is a arm of the CIA, so maybe he was part of the CIA and helping to keep Lebanon and Syria down. But he did marry a local girl, bring her back to the U.S. They have a daughter. So let's see. The tree is up there in that clump of trees, the pear tree. So we'll go up there and see how much wildlife there is. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be able to do this once a month. I'd like to see it documented for posterity. I'd like to see somebody take over for me. Document how it progresses. This Curtin Springs Wildlife Habitat. See how the weather changes from year to year, month to month. Maybe even decade to decade. This is April 2026. It's the 26th. And 26th of the month. So let's see where the birds are in here. Huh. I have a lot more variety in plants at my place. Well, maybe the birds prefer that. I have lovage and sweet cicely and rosemary that's flowering right now. All my fruit trees just finished flowering. Pear, Asian pear, apple, persimmons, plum, fig. Figs don't flower. The fruit is the flower on my variety. No seeds, but broken branches take root pretty easily. That's how they propagate. They've got bird houses here. Some of them are a little close to the ground. I haven't seen any birds going in or out of any of them in the, what, is it now a year I've been doing this? Maybe 18 months, 14 months. These trees are flowering, whatever they are. That's a big hole. Have to be a big bird to go in there. Little birds wouldn't want such a big hole because predators could get in. I'm not sure a big bird would want it either, so close to the ground. Pretty good flow for Curtin Springs. This goes east out on the other side of 205, which is just a couple blocks east of us. And then it heads north and it eventually empties into Salmon Creek. So there is a new park just north of 119th and just east of 72nd Avenue. We got some pickleball courts there, tennis court, and I guess a skate park and little kids park. I also do videos of shorts, minute or less, update on the Heritage Farm Wetlands Project, and get to see the wetlands attract wildlife, but hopefully someday. They sure did spend a lot of money and a lot of effort and a lot of gasoline, heavy equipment to move earth around, create a deep channel in the middle, and then a shallower overflow area on both sides of the channel. And planting a bunch of plants that hopefully will take and thrive. We'll see. They're calling it a conservation area. That's the way the empire works. You destroy something and then put a little back and call it conservation. Pat yourself on the back and spend your money on jet fuel to some foreign place for a week or two of R&R. Sometimes I like to think about what it would be like if the people that came here to the U.S. weren't looking to recreate what they had in Europe, but came here to live along with, learn from the natives. Instead of killing all the beavers, learn to build canoes and get around in canoes, learn to eat the crops that they grew in the wetlands in the southeastern U.S. They learned to live along with the slow river of Everglades and waited patiently for the technology to put stilts in the ground and build houses up and over, little enclaves, boardwalks. But then again, I wouldn't have a cell phone now. To do this video. Not for maybe another generation or two or three. So this wetlands didn't really turn out to be wetlands this year. It dried out pretty quick. Not enough rain, I guess. Not enough water to create the wetlands that has been in the past. So thank you for watching this far. We come to the end. You'll see the moles or voles have doubled their length of their tunnels since the last time, a month and a half ago. Are you sleeping or are you faking? Sister Jane, Brother John, morning bells are ringing, birds and bees are singing, ding dong ding, chirp chirp boos. If you can't get out in the nature, reconnect with it as much as you want, feel free to watch these videos and imagine yourself doing the walking here. So